actually eat our way to glowing skin? I mean, yes, we hear it a lot, you know, eat this, eat that, da-da-da-da-da. But does that mess actually work? I wanted to know, so I launched a full investigation, including getting receipts from a dietitian, and I actually went and tried to eat in the way that the dietitian said that we should be eating. And it was quite interesting. I learned a thing or two, and I think you will too. So keep watching. Now, you know I had to come in here with a disclaimer, right? Nothing in this video is meant to treat or diagnose any ailment or illness. Before you go changing up your diet, doing this, doing that, speak to your doctor, right? Anyway, I wanted to talk to a nutritionist on this channel for the longest time, and I found Black Nutritionist Mama. She's also a dietitian, and I had a little conversation with her about, you know, can we actually eat our way to glowing skin? And she said some pretty interesting things. So let's see what she had to say.
My name is Johane Filemon, and I am a registered dietitian nutritionist. And so I've been in the field now for over 15 years. Initially, I was like clinical long-term care. And then I started my private practice and I started focusing more on gut health and inflammation. When it comes to your skin health, as with anywhere in your body, we say this often, like you are what you eat. You really are what you eat. If you're eating, and I eat for pleasure, I'm not gonna be one that says, well, I eat for energy and nutrients. I mean, I'm Haitian American. I love food. I eat because I like the foods that I'm eating. So, but really when we're eating for the nutrients that are in the foods so that it can nourish our bodies, whether it's our hair, our skin, our nails. I mean, everywhere from head to toe. The junk food, the foods that are less nutrient dense that you continue to eat, will eventually lead to chronic inflammation. And then that chronic inflammation can present itself, you know, in so many different areas. Some people will see it in their skin first. Some people may see it more physiologically where they have headaches all the time. So it differs from person to person. But yeah, definitely the food you eat will affect what your skin looks like.
What are some foods for better skin? Is there such a thing?
There's such a thing, but it's kind of hard to focus. You know, when people are like, okay, I'm trying to get better hair, I'm trying to get better nails, or I'm trying to, you know, slim down or whatever it is their goals are. It's kind of hard and overwhelming if you're like focused on, okay, I gotta consume this amount of vitamin A and this amount of vitamin C and da 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 da. It's kind of overwhelming. So I always tell people, outside of people who I'm like focused on a specific therapy, the best way to eat is making sure that your plate is one, colorful. So people who are like, well, I eat healthy, and then all they eat is white rice, green something, and a piece of chicken. It's not a varied plate. At least 3 colors on your plate when you're eating. So I want to see some reds, some yellows, some purples, some whites. White is a color. Don't let people tell you white foods are bad. White is a color, so is white rice. You know, don't throw away white rice. So the more color you have, the more nutrients you're consuming, the more vitamins, the more micronutrients. So that way, antioxidants as well. That way you are consuming, every time you eat, you're consuming a variety of nutrients. And then secondly, half your plate, making it vegetables and or fruits. So whether it is cooked or steamed or raw, that's up to you. But half of that plate, make it, the abundance of your plate be those vegetables and or fruits. And then a quarter of your plate is a starch. So you can make it any starches that you want. And then the other quarter can be protein. So if you are a meat eater, then that protein would be a meat. If you are plant-based or vegan, then it could be like a legume or something that's just have a higher quantity of protein in it, because the other plant-based foods you're eating, from the starchy part and then from the vegetables, they all have protein in them, some kind of amino acid that when combined is going to make a whole protein. So, you know, if your plate is looking like this, every time you eat, you don't have to sit there and count calories. You don't have to sit there and make sure you're getting vitamin A, certain amount of vitamins, A, B, the B's, the C's, the D's. You know, every time you're eating, you're getting a variety of nutrients. And this is not to say that no one can indulge, and you can never have an Oreo, you can never have a this or that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the majority of the time, your lifestyle and your habit needs to be that plant-based, colorful looking food instead of the processed or the significantly processed foods, because most foods really are processed some way or another. And of course, you season it up with some good herbs and spices. Like, we're not eating bland here. I'm all about the drinking of the water. I feel like we don't get enough water, and always reminds me, not to say that water is the only way that you can stay hydrated, because you can stay hydrated with the foods that you eat, like watermelons and the juicy fruit. But if you are someone who feels like they have to have a little flavor in the stuff that they drink, you know, infused water is very awesome way to get that flavor in your drink and still not be consuming a lot of sugars throughout the day. It's fine to have your coffee in the morning, but if you're having, I've known people who have like 2 pots of coffee throughout the day. Coffee is a diuretic, and diuretic means that you're going to be peeing it out, which means that it's going to increase your risks of dehydration while you're trying to hydrate. Try to stick to a limited amount of coffee throughout the day so that you're not having that diuretic effect. And teas are great. Teas are awesome. The ginger teas, the mint teas, the lemongrass teas, all those have medicinal properties in them, and you're hydrating at the same time. These herbal teas, they're not caffeinated, so you don't have to worry about the diuretic issue. Your green tea and your black tea, those are caffeinated, so that those are naturally caffeinated, so you would have to worry about that.
I went to Sweet Green, one of my favorite places that unfortunately doesn't deliver to my part of town. Now this might look a little boring, but I like it. Got some colors here. I have arugula, I've got red onion, I've got some roasted chicken. For the salad dressing, I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil and then squeeze some lemon over it. That's just like one of my favorite dressings. There is some goat cheese in here. They gave me more than what I usually eat, so I'm gonna, take out what I'm not gonna eat. And then I have some roasted almonds. I like that for the crunch. You guys know from my previous videos about how I feel about almonds. Then I got a side of these sweet potatoes that come with this like cashew sauce. Sauces are usually what is the culprit, but I am curious as to how it tastes. I might have like a little bit of the sauce and then move on. And to drink, water. I dumped out a lot of that goat cheese. Didn't need all of it. Of course, I squeezed my lemon. If you're trying to watch your budget, you can make the salad at home. This sauce, let's see, is this sauce good? It smells nice. It's good. It's a cashew pesto sauce. Very delicious, but I don't know what else is in it besides the cashew and the pesto. Sauces can have like a lot of sugar and stuff in it. We'll see what Johane says, but one more little dip is not gonna hurt, just a little dip, Put your hands up on my hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip, you know what I'm saying? It is 11:16 in the morning. I figured I would show you an example of a snack. I've got my bananas in here. I'm probably only gonna eat one because I wanted to have like a good fat, and avocado's not it for me. I got some almond butter. I'm home and I have a plate of fruit, oranges, and some grapes. I was trying something a little bit differently because something that Johane said like really spoke to me about like properly seasoning your food. I would love to hear what her thoughts are on the seasoning that I got from Trader Joe's. Spicy, garlicky, and deeply aromatic and savory. It seems kind of weird to put it on an orange, but actually not. Because I grew up, my mom's Trinidad, well, both my parents are Trinidadian, but my mom in particular, she would make something called mango chow, where she would cut up some mango and then she'd put some like spicy stuff and garlic and other stuff on top. Not that this is the same thing, but you know what I mean. No sodium, no calories. I'd be interested in what Johane thinks about this little thing. I only sprinkled a little bit on there just for a little flavor, but I've showed you a lunch, I've showed you a dinner, I've showed you snacks, and now the breakfast. Now, I would be very interested to see what Johane says because I got some potatoes on here, but potato is a vegetable, right? We've also got some eggs. I did 1 egg and some liquid egg whites. I cooked some garlic and onions before I put the eggs on the skillet, and just to give it like a nice aroma and flavor, put the eggs in, put a little bit of everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's, and then added some spinach so I could have some green in here. The funny thing is I have a lot more spinach in here, but you know how spinach does when it cooks down, right? Then I have 2 slices of a turkey bacon. What I typically do with breakfast is that I kind of eat in phases. So like when I first get up, I'll probably eat something similar to this. Then I'll, do like my breakfast snack. So later on, now hopefully time allows me to have these, but later on I'm thinking a little orange, some mango, but I do have to leave the house for an appointment at 11:15, and these are not the best to eat on the go. Depending on timing, I may just switch to the banana with a little bit of the almond butter because, that's easy. I can just put that in a bag and eat it on the drive there. Now, were there times where I cheated? To drink, it's water. Always water for me. Very seldom do I drink sodas, juices. I'd have to really have a taste for it, and that doesn't happen very often. All right. All of the aromas, all of the flavors. So I have a sweet, now this is like the food version of Monet. It tastes good, but like when you look at it up close, it's like, I don't know about that, sis. I like to make sweet potatoes for myself at lunchtime because I'm able to just slap them in the oven and they just like, cook on their own while I'm doing my makeup to prepare for filming, which is what happened today. This is here because I'm attempting to lay my edges. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, it's very easy for me. I'm someone who's like constantly on the go. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Although I work from home, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes over here. And then I paired it with some corn on the cob, something else that I can just throw in some water, let it boil, and boom, bam, boom. It'd probably be better like roasted or grilled or something like that, but I gotta pay attention to that. I can't just throw that on and then do my makeup and go on about my business. Anyway, so what I did though with the corn and the sweet potatoes, I seasoned it. So let's start with the seasoning that's on the sweet potato. So I put just like a tiny, probably not even a 1/4 teaspoon of I can't believe it's not butter inside the sweet potato. And then I seasoned it with some cinnamon and a little sprinkle of the Trader Joe's everything but the bagel seasoning. Then for the corn, I did like my own super bootleg elote. So I put a little bit of I can't believe it's not butter on the corn. Then I sprinkled some of the Trader Joe's everything but the bagel seasoning. And then Trader Joe's has an everything but the elote seasoning, which I sprinkled on top of here. And then I put a little bit of fresh, well, can't really say it's fresh because I didn't actually grate it myself and buy it fresh, but you know what I mean. Not the can, but the actual, Parmesan cheese. Sprinkle that on top of there. This is what I do real quick. This is filling to me, but I'm looking at this plate and I'm like, it's missing something. It tastes good, but I feel like I need something else. Typically, I can eat a sweet potato on its own and it'll fill me, but we'll see what Johane has to say about this.
Ooh, I am loving all the colors that I see in this meal, which means you're adding lots of vitamins and antioxidants. I see the roasted almonds and cashew pesto sauce, which means the vitamin E that is great for skin health is in this meal. This meal is definitely a skin health winner. Again, with all the colors, you are meeting all the food groups with this meal. And those eggs I see in here are full of biotin, which means that you are again winning it for the skin health with this meal. I love the ingredients that I see in the everything but the bagel seasonings. Lots of delicious flavors, multiple herbs and spices in a meal are always a winner for flavor. And of course, the medicinal properties that are found in these herbs and spices are always a win for health overall. A banana and a teaspoon of nut butter, and I see it's almond butter here, is awesome. This is like a quick little snack, easy to carry around with you. This is always one of my recommendations for folks. A fruit and a nut butter, perfect combination. The sweet potatoes and corn look awesome. The ingredients that you're going to use to flavor it up are totally fine. I would pair it with some non-starchy vegetables just to balance things out, but you are well on your way to a perfect meal here. Oranges and grapes are a perfect little snack. They're hydrating, and adding the Ajika seasoning is like next level snack here. I'm loving this. The bag of Cheetos are not the end of the world. You've consumed lots of nutrient-dense foods throughout the day. You ate them, and that's fine. It happens. They're not nutrient-dense, but it's not going to remove all the good foods you consume thus far. So, we just move on to the next meal.
I feel so enlightened now. What did you learn from this video? Let me know in the comments. It pays to eat a healthy, well-balanced diet. We don't have to be eating bland foods to be healthy, as Johane mentioned in the video. And make sure you follow her on Instagram because she has an amazing account where you can get so many tips, and she also does personal one-on-one coaching. Keep in mind, don't go throw away your niacinamide and your vitamin C and your retinol and your sunscreen and stuff, because you can't just eat your way to glowing skin. You gotta combine it with the skincare. And if you want more information on starting a routine, vitamin C, what's that all about? How do I start with retinol? All that other stuff, you're in luck, because I have videos on all of those things, and I'll link them below in the description box for you to check out. Follow me on social. I'll leave the links in the description box, and I'll see you fine folks in my next video. Bye guys.